Ever watch two parents turn their 3-year-old into a content factory, then act shocked when the internet finally called them out for it? Because Ryan and Ryan Kaji didn't just monetize their son's childhood, they industrialized it, packaged it, and sold it to the highest bidder while Ryan couldn't even legally sign a contract.
Sometimes I can see like the drafts first, and then after I can see like the full thing. And it's really cool to see how it changes over time.
We're talking about the family behind Ryan's world, who went from adorable toy unboxing videos to a billion-dollar empire built on 25 videos per week, federal investigations, and a work schedule that would make most adults quit. And now, the whole operation is crumbling faster than their son's genuine smile. So let me paint you a picture of how two parents turned family content into a case study for why we desperately need child labor laws for the internet. Rewind to 2015. A 3-year-old named Ryan starts opening toy boxes on camera. His parents hit records.
I'm gonna get you!
Fast forward a few years, and Ryan becomes the highest paid YouTuber on the planet, raking in over $20 million annually. Not bad for a kid who was still learning to tie his shoes, right? But here's where it gets interesting. While Ryan was busy being the family's human cash printer, his parents, Loan and Cheyenne, made a decision that would define everything.
I'm drinking you. Whoa.
They quit their actual jobs. Loan was a chemistry teacher. Cheyenne was an engineer. Stable careers with benefits and retirement plans. They walked away from all of it to become full-time Ryan's World content farmers. They didn't just film videos in their spare time. They hired a 30-person production team, incorporated Sunlight Entertainment, and basically turned their house into a content factory with Ryan as the star employee who couldn't negotiate his contract, request breaks, or understand what monetization even meant. On paper, genius business move. In practice, it's where family vlogging turns into something that looks suspiciously like child exploitation with better lighting. From the jump, critics were side-eyeing this operation harder than a suspicious TikTok trend. The content blurred every possible line between this is fun and this is a paid advertisement. And little kids? They're not exactly media literate enough to spot the difference. So watchdog groups complain. The FTC launched an investigation because apparently turning your living room into a 24/7 advertisement disguised as playtime raises some regulatory eyebrows. Who would have thought? Right. Consumer advocates accuse the Kajis of deceiving millions of kids with ads that look like regular content. Because here's the thing, preschoolers literally cannot tell the difference between Ryan loves this toy and Ryan's parents are getting paid 6 figures to make him love this toy. The family even had to rebrand from Ryan's Toys Review to Ryan's World to make it sound less commercial. That's like calling a casino a fun money adventure center. Same slot machines, different sign, but the sponsored content kept flowing because apparently ethics don't pay Hawaiian mansion mortgages like overworking a child does. Let's talk numbers because they're absolutely insane. Ryan was filming up to 25 segments every week across multiple channels. 25. That's more content than most adult YouTubers with entire teams produce in a month. And this kid was still learning multiplication tables. Every aspect of his life became monetized entertainment. Family vlogs, science experiments, daily routines, morning breakfast. The kid couldn't brush his teeth without it becoming content with 3 camera angles and a brand integration. If the family dog sneezed, they probably rolled a full production setup and called it Dog Sneeze Challenge Gone Wrong. You won't believe what happens next. And here's the part that should make your blood boil. No laws protected Ryan's earnings the way they protect child actors in Hollywood. All that money, tens of millions of dollars, legally belonged to mommy and daddy. 0 trust fund requirements, 0 work hour protections, 0 oversight. So while Ryan was out here being the family breadwinner since preschool, his parents were the ones holding the bread, the butter, and probably the entire grocery store. For years, there were no Coogan law-style protections for kid influencers. Hollywood child actors get mandatory trust funds. YouTube kids? Historically, not so much. But karma doesn't forget addresses, and it definitely doesn't skip YouTube channels. Fast forward to today, and the Kaji empire is collapsing harder than a Jenga tower in an earthquake. Remember when Ryan's World was pulling in over 1 billion views per video? Those days are deader than flip phones. New videos now struggle to break 100,000 views. We're talking about a 70% drop in viewership. For a channel this size, that's not a decline. That's free fall with no parachute. The reasons are both obvious and satisfying. Ryan grew up, and so did his audience. The 5-year-olds who used to worship him are now pre-teens who think the content his parents are still forcing him to make is cringe. Meanwhile, new toddlers aren't interested in watching a teenager pretend to be excited about toy unboxings. It's like watching your older brother play with action figures. Awkward and uncomfortable for everyone involved. But wait, it gets even worse for the parents. YouTube changed its algorithm after the COPPA crackdown, and suddenly channels featuring kids weren't getting the royal treatment anymore. The result? Loanne herself admitted they lost 70% of their income practically overnight. That's not a pay cut. That's financial amputation. And just when you thought the Kajis couldn't dig themselves a deeper hole, they decided to make a theatrical movie. Ryan's World, the movie, Titan Universe Adventure. Sounds epic, right? This cinematic masterpiece managed to gross a whopping $624,000 against a $10 million budget. They lost nearly $9.5 million on what was essentially a very expensive home video. Theaters were emptier than a Logan Paul apology. By the third weekend, indie films nobody had heard of were outgrossing Ryan's Hollywood debut. People who actually saw it said it looked less and more like a feature-length toy commercial duct taped to awkward acting and bargain bin animation. And honestly, it's poetic justice that the project, which was clearly a quick money grab, ended up accelerating their downfall instead. Here's where the story gets really dark. As Ryan started showing obvious signs of being over the whole YouTube thing, appearing tired, reluctant, speaking in flat tones like he'd rather be literally anywhere else, his parents made a move that would make even the greediest stage parents blush. They started pushing his younger twin sisters, Emma and Kate, into the spotlight. The girls, who are only 7 years old, now have their own animation series and are increasingly featured in family content. It's like watching someone finish draining one well and then immediately start digging another. The internet's reaction was absolute disgust. Comments like, "Ryan made his parents $34 million and now they're exploiting his baby sisters," started flooding social media. To many viewers, it looked like the machine was just swapping engines mid-flight. Ryan's aging out. Quick, bring in the replacement workers. As of now, the Kajis are desperately trying to keep their sinking ship afloat. They're recycling old footage of younger Ryan, using his face in thumbnails for videos he barely appears in, and pushing the twins harder than a Black Friday sale. It's giving just one more heist energy, and everyone can see it. Ryan has openly said he wants to be an animator, to create things behind the camera for once, not always trapped in front of it performing childhood for views, but every adult around him keeps saying, just a few more videos, just a few more brand deals, just a few more years. And a few more eventually turns into forever when $1 billion brand is built on your face. The fall of Ryan's World isn't just karma. It's a cautionary tale about what happens when you build an empire on a child's back. The Kajis turned their son into the most famous kid on the internet, but in doing so, they also guaranteed their own downfall. They still have money. Sure, they've got their Hawaiian mansion and product lines, but their golden goose is cooked. Their reputation is in shambles, and their legacy will forever be those parents who used their kid for YouTube fame. The gravy train has officially derailed, and honestly, it couldn't have happened to more deserving people. Because when you treat childhood like a renewable resource and your business model depends on it never ending, you don't have a business, you have a countdown timer. So, here's to Ryan Kaji. May he finally get the normal teenage years, the art classes, and the privacy he deserves. And here's to his parents. May they enjoy watching their empire crumble from the mansion their son's childhood bought them. Sometimes the best revenge is just letting karma do its job. And in this case, karma is working overtime. Now let me know in the comments, do Ryan's parents deserve a shot at redemption if they actually let him walk away? Or is their reputation already cooked beyond repair? Because based on those twin sisters getting pushed into the spotlight, I'm not holding my breath.